Where we at? We're everywhere. Fucking idiot. Wow.
Pow. We going?
Pew, pew, pew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Each Other's Mothers podcast. Woo.
Yay.
Yay. That's us. We don't have Johanna Medranda this week. I know, it's crazy. We're going on fire. Everything's going crazy. No, it's fine.
Daddy's gone. It's about to be the loudest podcast ever.
Yeah. No, we are so excited to be here. We are so excited to be here with our special guest, the one, the only, Coraci.
Coraci,
Hell
Coraci,
yeah.
Coraci. It's kind of like in honor of Johanna. That, and I've got a Topo Chico.
There you go. That's our go-to when she's not
So
drinking.
cute.
Not-
It's like she's here. It's
Yeah.
like her spirit's here.
Not that she
Can
would
you
drink.
yell at me? No. I miss her. Can you?
Do the laundry.
Right, yeah.
Do
Is
the
that what
laundry
she
and then
says?
book me a show. Yeah. Now you're
she books me a
Johanna.
show.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's opposites. For those of you who don't know Cara is a dear, dear friend of everyone here at the Each Other's Mothers podcast. She is a brilliant comedian, an amazing host. She runs shows all over the area. She's also an incredible photographer.
Thank
which,
you.
Yeah, which is a lot of people know about her. But yeah, takes some of the best photos in Southeast Michigan. So we're just so excited to have her here
I'm excited
and
to
to
be
talk
here.
each other's mothers. I'm going to pull a Johanna actually really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
This is something we like to ask our guests. So we named the podcast Each Other's Mothers because we are all people who, we have our own families, but as we grew, we sort of created a lot of chosen family and found ourselves among, a lot of people, sometimes women, sometimes even not women, but who we sort of parent each other and affirm each other and build each other up. And there's sort of these like people that come to you and build themselves around you that sort of help you feel strong and amazing. So is that something that resonates with you? Do you have sort of these people in your
Chosen
life?
family.
That I'm mothering?
Or they're mothering you.
or
at
that are
times.
mothering you,
I'm like
yeah.
everyone at New Way Bar.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh
I'm
my
mothering right now.
You are. You're
Uh,
each comedian's
the-
mother. Yeah.
I kind of feel that way at Tuesday.
Yeah.
Anyone that's hosting should be called mom or dad. I
Yeah,
think.
no, I'm with you. I mean, funny enough, I like there like Justin Essenbacher calls me mom and all that. It just I just always have gum basically in my
Yeah.
purse. But there is definitely an element of that. I think with the comedy community, especially because for me, I'm always like, I'm married. I'm sober. But I've lived the single days and the drunken days. And so now I'm at the point where it's like, no, it's okay if you get drunk. I'll just hold your hair back. Like, it's
Right.
but I look at it more like the older sister, and I just want to make sure everyone's taken care of, and I'll drive your ass around and whatever. But there's
Right, yeah.
Or hot
definitely that
stepmom.
element.
Hot
Oh, yeah,
stepmom,
for sure.
too.
Hot stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's all about you. Have you heard?
I learned there's a lot of stepmom jokes in the community. And I'm like, no, not
that kind.
Yeah, like I am not getting fucked by random people as many times. Can I say the F word?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can
Oh.
say all
Bleep.
words, yeah.
I'm not getting bleeped.
No, Johanna will actually specifically be mad.
Yeah,
if
we're
we
supposed to
don't,
hit
so.
the fuck word at
Yeah.
least
Quota?
25
We've
times.
got quotas.
A fuck
I almost said the F word
Okay.
while I'm saying
No, we get paid by the expletive here at Each Other's Mothers. So
That's a really interesting concept, though. So
yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
yeah.
I feel that way
Alright.
about this comedy scene. I guess we all kind of do. I mean, we have
Yeah.
Oh, wait. we have each other.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it here on the podcast before. There's like, a big element of like comedy is sort of this like, it's a lot of shit talking assholery.
Sure.
But if you stick with it long enough, I at least find you do kind of find that you actually are really held by other comedians.
Yeah.
Like people really want to uplift each other. People like, even those of us that are like sort of the like, most
Shitty.
Yeah, or hard on each other. Even when we're hard on each other, it's this very like sort of loving and supportive
Yeah.
group. I mean, like also like full of shitheads who assault people and stuff. But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
We've got a mix. But
But even to follow up on that, there's a couple of comics that there's a couple of comics that I reached out to, like after they did an open mic at a club, and I'm like, hey, you need to send your shit to the club owner.
Yes.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you were just there yesterday. They saw you. They've got your video. I'm like, this is a good time. And they're like, well, what do I do? And then I'm like, here's your bio. I'm like, send me a couple things. There's probably about 10 comics that I've helped write their bio.
Yeah.
It's just something I have a knack for. And like, I want to see other people succeed. Like,
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, if Detroit can succeed in this community, it's only going to lift the rest of us up.
Absolutely.
That's like
bottom line. Yep.
my mindset. It's like anyone making it big out of here is just it's challenging. It's hard, but if Detroit can make it, I think I don't know that
No,
that's just
I
kinda how
totally
my
get it.
head
I am like
works.
proud of our scene. Like I didn't realize until going to other scenes like how a lot of them aren't close. A lot of them don't give a fuck about anyone else at this open mic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, we actually hang out and have friends and are nice to each other. And like support each other and get them on other stuff, which is like insane if you like go anywhere else. Like except for like I guess the Midwest in general. Maybe we're just nice.
Yeah, I think so. Because I had a
Maybe it's
similar
the corn.
experience going. It's a corn.
The corn makes us nice.
I actually had like the most Midwest moment maybe of my life yesterday. So my cousin was in town from LA with his girlfriend and their daughter, and his girlfriend, like, she's born and raised in LA. She's like just not real familiar with this part of the country, and set up the buffet style dinner. And one of my cousins had made a freaking delicious side. It was like cheesy potatoes, but like with the cornflakes on top for the crunchiness.
Yeah.
So like my cousin's girlfriend was like filling her plate right behind me in line, and she was like looking at it, and I was like, hey, did you ever have like cereal on your casserole before? And she goes, what the fuck is a casserole? And I was like, oh, welcome to the Midwest, baby. I was like,
ranch.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna fucking love it.
I'm gluten free.
What?
No, she's not like that at all. She's,
Okay, good.
No, she's real cool.
It didn't sound like it.
No. She loved it. It was real cool. Yeah. Anyway, that was my campaign. They're moving here soon. I just want all my cousins and family to live right next to me.
Yeah. I've also heard people say if Midwesterners move to LA or like New York, like Midwesterners are also some of the hardest working people. I don't know if it's because we have to scrape our our car
just,
like every
live
winter.
Our lives from a constant place of guilt and shame.
Yeah.
Feeling like we're not doing enough for the family.
Truly. So I do.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said about.
Well, and if you just like look at all the Detroit comics that are killing it all over the country right now, like you can go to New York and there's Detroit comics.
There's like a
killing
group
it. LA.
in like every
I mean there's
major place. I feel like
several shows in LA that are like dedicated to Detroit comics and like run by Detroit comics. Yeah, like we're
Detroit
everywhere.
hustles harder. Have you heard?
Yeah.
You have to work really hard.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's pretty wild. That's funny. So how did you get your start in comedy, Kara?
Is this really an interviewing?
No,
me?
like it wasn't going to be. It was. It's not supposed to.
I didn't know what I signed up for.
This is where
like
we trap
horrible
people
story
in the
about how you
basement.
started comedy. So first I murdered a man. And
Yeah.
No. It doesn't need to be like
I started
a straight
writing
interview.
in jail.
It just occurred to me.
You know someone has that like
yeah.
story, so I shouldn't joke about it.
First day I left, I went to the local open mic. After 20 years,
I
under
lived-
false pretext.
No, it really just occurred to me that I just didn't know. But the rest of it won't be interview style.
Okay. I've been on stages my whole life. So, like, I was in Warren Civic Community Theater.
The
Warren. I was in Oliver and The King and I and all that shit.
Tell me you were Oliver.
No.
Threw a beard on you.
Yeah. well, Oliver was like a little boy. So
I know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about theater.
Oliver. No. I was
I'm
going
right
to
here,
say,
yeah,
Carol,
I'm right
yeah, we can jam out to the musicals.
There you go. I'm uncultured. All I know is cats.
I'm like,
I fucking love cats. I don't give a fuck. Every time I say that to a person who's in theater, like, oh, cats. Tell me that Memories doesn't slap. That's such a good song. I will cry right now. It's a banger.
The old days, I was beautiful.
I knew you knew all the words.
Oh, I know every word. Yeah.
I don't know words to that.
Yeah. Anyway, so you were in
and then I
Oliver.
like really made it. Then I really made it after that. Okay. And I did forensics in high school, which
Hell
nobody's
yeah.
ever heard of. You've heard of
I
it?
did
God!
forensics.
We're
Hell
soul
yeah.
sisters. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll explain to Connor.
Help.
There's debate and forensics, and it's competitive speech giving. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
But,
It's wild.
Yeah. But I was all state in Michigan. Again, I amounted to nothing in life. But
I'm not shocked.
You're
You've
one of
amounted
the
to a
gifted
lot,
children.
and also like that. Nothing has ever made sense to me more. I'm like, oh yes.
you're like, okay.
Oh yes, from the age
Yeah.
of 14, you were commanding audiences. That
You know
makes
what was interesting though, but maybe I shouldn't bring this up. But so anyways, and then I did improv, I did all that, and then finally like with improv, it was like someone for my improv troupe was like, let's take one of these stand-up comedy classes, because basically nobody wanted to do improv anymore.
Right.
It's like having a band or like having this podcast and
Everyone
like
with schedules and
yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't. This
And then
isn't
like you lose
amounting
the
to
one
anything.
guy that
Yeah.
it's hard to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really what happened. So we took the class, and then after that, I was like, "Oh, I love this!" Like
Where'd you take it?
A little place in Royal Oak. Can't think of the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Mark Ridley.
Mark Ridley.
Got me for a second.
Were we really?
Yeah, me
I was
too.
like, is there another place that I don't know about?
And I was like, how does she not remember? It was Mark Ridley's.
And you had Bill.
Got me.
Yeah.
Bill was the teacher.
Bill was
yeah.
the teacher.
Okay.
Joel
Love
Fragomeni. Yeah, and ironically, one of the things Joel Fragomeni taught us was that New Way Bar was the worst open mic. I specifically remember that. But also saying, like, that's where you need to go, because that's
Right,
where you
yeah.
need to work out your shit.
Right.
Which he was right. You
Yeah.
know, like, you need just to that rough it, like, bunch
Yeah,
of comedians
it's so
not
wild.
caring
Right.
about you.
And
Yeah.
a bunch of drunk
Go to a
people
room where nobody
screaming.
wants to listen to you and try to make people.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when,
it's
when
wild.
there is that moment at New Way when you do get the bar's attention, nothing feels better than that, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so-
It's like it's a rare occurrence, but
Yeah.
like when it
Yeah.
happens,
You girls all killed last week, by the way.
Stop
I was
it.
telling my husband about your. Should I not say it online?
Just
Well, like-
throwing my bits on the
Okay,
air. No,
all
I'm just
right.
kidding. Everybody come watch my show.
The Olympics joke.
That
Yeah,
is,
I was
yeah.
just
fucking
dying.
love that joke.
Yeah.
It was
I know. I
dying.
gotta milk that one this summer. That one's gonna
That's a
get
good
lame
one.
in like 1 month. I gotta really,
I
really
don't know.
stretch that.
I don't know. You
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
it for a
Well,
little
so
bit.
okay. So for our
Maybe a couple
listeners
months.
who don't know,
Oh, do the joke.
New Way.
Oh, we're
no,
watching.
I'm not gonna
We're
do
watching.
The joke.
No,
I'm
come
not gonna do
on.
the joke. But no, so New Way Bar it's a bar in Ferndale. It's a wonderful bar, 7 days a week. But on Monday nights, it is an open mic for comedians, and it's really probably one of the longest running, most established.
What's the longest list you've had so far?
open mics?
We
in
had
the area.
82 last week.
Well, so yeah, I was gonna ask you to talk about
Has
that.
it ever?
So
past
Kara is
100?
the host. Just to again, just clarifying for the
Carolyn.
listeners.
Paul
Kara and Paul,
Pepitone.
Kara Coraci and Paul Pepitone are the hosts, and yeah, it's again one of the longest running open mics, and the list is always
Like
1 million
70 to-
Yeah.
people.
1,000.
people. Yeah. Something else is gonna blow your mind. Ready?
I'm ready. It's over. No, we're done. We're
Take that,
closing.
Condos. You know Matt, who bartends there?
Yeah.
Matt and I did forensics in high school together.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know he did like theater stuff
Yeah.
too, didn't he?
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still into movies and theater and all that. So
Right.
Oh my
Are we
God.
gonna get him on stage?
I did ask him about it, and I know he's interested. He just was like, well, what do I do? I'm like, just go up there and sing Rent. Like,
I just want him to roast all the comedians that he's been seeing.
Carolyn. Yeah.
Thought of it.
People would love it. 'Cause
If he just
people-
went up and roasted everyone, like,
that would be
My
fun.
you motherfuckers, like,
That would be really
And
fun.
he's there every week.
he's been there since I
Yeah.
started.
He's
every
been there
week.
since I've been a teenager. So,
Wow.
he's been.
He has all
Yeah.
the tea.
That is so funny.
That would be-
Anyways.
That should
I
be a
think
day.
about that all the time. There's like a lot of folks that are like in the comedy community but don't do stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Those are the
them
best.
roast us all.
right.
Know all of
Or
our deepest,
interviews
darkest-
like with them.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's bring Maddie over here sometime.
That would be cool.
Separate podcast.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Interviewing the comedy adjacent.
I love it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Get
Yeah.
Eliza on here.
But so you took over New Way, what, like a few
What?
months ago?
Yeah, but I mean, I was just gonna help out like one day,
Right.
and then I made a poster, and
And there's like color
Yeah.
coordination with the list.
right, yeah.
It's
So-
you like rebranded it. You really did, and it like just seems like the energy's way better. I don't know if that's us because of pandemic and everyone's like, oh, we're back and we love each other.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
there's absolute. We've talked about this, like, right where the. Can I just say something real quick? I have Invisalign, and my voice bothers me. So there, I just can you have Invisalign.
There, look at it.
We don't allow insecurities on this podcast.
Okay, I
so
just want, I had a lisp as a kid, and I had to go through speech class, which is a whole other
dang,
story.
yeah.
Right.
Which is the whole thing that's
probably
really
got you
weird.
into forensics, really.
Right. It's like I overcompensated with
Yeah.
speech. Anyway, so having to go through this is like
Traumatizing. I got over this.
When did
Please. It's back.
yeah, I know. Right? That's really how. So I'm just letting you guys know that. I'm just thinking about.
You want
it.
to take them off live on the pod? No.
No, I'm good. Hold on. What was the question? What are we talking about?
I don't even know.
I was so distracted by
I
that
know.
short burlesque bit. that-
Invisalign burlesque.
Yeah, let's do it on TikTok. We're gonna start a thing.
Interesting.
So I really just told Paul, like, hey, I can help out if you want, no big deal. But then you know how us, I'm not going to say girls, but us girls, we
Better.
tend to be like, better. But like, we put that extra like TLC into
Right.
things, and like, I was like, oh,
You mean
shit.
like a working pen on the open mic list? It's just the touches. It's just the extra.
a brand new pen, Paul. But and that was it. And then just I kind of ran. Well, I wanted to call it East Side Dagos, and
Right.
apparently that was derogatory.
Yeah, but
How is Dagos more derogatory than Goombas? Like what?
Well, I've heard my parents use the term Goombas.
Yeah.
So but my parents wouldn't use the term Dago.
Right.
Yeah, like you're
It
Goomba,
sounds-
you're
I guess,
Goombody.
I
Yeah.
don't really use either in my family. I'm also Italian.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone's
Um,
Italian.
Everyone's Italian.
So cool.
Everybody's
Can
cool.
Can you say your mom's maiden name?
It's
Or do you
Simmons.
not want to?
But it's documented. It was changed. At Ellis Island, it was Simoncini. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simoncini's.
Love
But then,
that.
so next week I have to go to like a larger family reunion with my mom's side of the family, and that'll be all the DeSuccios and the Patatis. And
Ooh.
it's like
They all
it's
sound
wild.
like pasta dishes.
Yeah.
I like that.
It is a delicious potluck. We do it like once every
Oh,
5
sure.
years.
Can I
Yeah.
come?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm a little Irish, if that's okay. I love to be here.
I mean, by this many generations in, we're probably all a little
Yeah, I think-
Irish. It's-
right,
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But yeah, I haven't heard much of either of those, so I don't have like strong gut reactions to any of them. But yeah, I can see where East Side Dagos would have gotten you in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I can see
Paul.
that.
Dago does sound a
Said
little
no.
more just
Yeah.
like Dago.
Yeah.
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 Sounds a little mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also sounds like Diego, so.
Yeah.
Which he's mean, so it works out.
And also Italian people are white now, so like can we just I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah. Or WAP is another one, but
Right.
Well, that got taken over.
even okay, yeah.
Whole other thing now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if someone remade the song, but it's about Italians?
It's actually
Has anyone
way
done that
Oh
yet?
my gosh, let's do
Because you and
it.
Polly have to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Just wearing like Adidas tracksuits.
Oh my gosh, let's do it. Wait, what? How does the lyrics go?
I don't
But
know.
they say the word. Okay, we gotta
They
think
say
about
wop
I
it.
was
a lot.
thinking it would be funny. You could make it white ass Italian people, like wape,
Ooh,
like white
no
ass
way.
Italian
That'd
people.
be-
I don't know if you could do that.
Wape.
Figure it out. We can process it.
Yeah, everyone's gonna love it.
I mean, as long as you have the wop, 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 maybe that's like the key to the song.
Okay.
And then we can just fill it in with other shit. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll call my people. They'll reach your people.
Yeah, have them
Yeah.
call me. I've been known to make a few rap songs in my day.
you
And,
go.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, weren't you like are you still currently one of the finalists for
I
hip-hop-
won.
hip-hop?
I'm the 2021
Oh my
hip hop
God.
finalist.
Yeah.
Which is, have you ladies watched it before?
Oh yeah.
Just say yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's all streaming online. You can watch it anytime.
Our
but it's
producer
okay.
Ellen has also
No.
been on this show. It's
Yeah,
called
I
Hip-
lost.
Yeah.
Called Hip Hop.
Competed.
It's hosted by Tam White and Jake Russell. You can
Ellen
find
is
it online.
phenomenal,
Yeah.
by the way. Ellen is phenomenal.
Oh hell yeah!
You are.
We know.
Yeah. Very
The
talented.
world knows.
Very talented. You and Heather had an improv scene that just made me go like, oh, this is good improv. Like it was, I really mean that. Anyway, so everyone
you.
go back, watch episode 38. But Tam White and Jake Russell do a heck of a job.
I love
my
them
gosh,
both.
It's
They're both
really
amazing.
brilliant. I mean, I think we all know watching anything online, like with the comedy, was really challenging
They made
this
it
year.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Maybe
She's-
one of my
yeah.
favorite things to come out of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Really.
no, truly.
Yeah.
And if
It was
I'm
so unique. Like I never even,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was something that they had ever talked about or thought of. And when it came out, I was like, damn, this is so fun.
They've been doing it for a while though, live.
they were doing it at Go Comedy, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, right?
I think maybe.
I thought
I'm not
so.
sure.
I think they did. I could have sworn.
Yeah.
I think they did.
They've
Yeah.
definitely done a bunch of work over there. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're gonna be doing it live soon, but I'm not gonna say anymore
Okay.
because I don't know what's. I don't want to be the
Stay
one.
tuned.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that's
dun.
just-
Yeah, which is really cool that other venues like are interested in it and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
I'm just proud of both of them. It's really
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
I've never heard. Yeah, it's very unique. Very cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
We're going off on so many tangents.
That's
I
the-
can't.
that's
Okay,
this whole
good.
show.
Sweet
Yeah.
All right.
too, yeah.
Just talking.
I mean, we can go back to straight up interview style, Coraci.
No,
if
no,
that's what
I
you
love
want.
this. Here's what I was gonna say, and then I don't know if you want this to be a segue into what we were gonna talk about.
Yes.
But in forensics, the piece that I won the state competition with was this piece all on anorexia, on this this girl's story about anorexia, and then I memorized it and blah blah blah.
Turned it
And
Did
into
you
then-
get that?
performance.
I wrote that so long ago.
Yeah, yes, it was
That's never.
My Anorexia by Connor Meade.
Yes.
I love it. I'm not laughing at it. That was like an awkward laugh.
That's why I said it.
That was an awkward laugh.
obviously-
It's like I don't know what to say. But
No, I'm
you
sorry.
don't know. Like we don't know anyone's story.
Right,
It's
right.
very
you know?
true. We don't know.
So I know like Kate Dillon, who's now a plus. Oh my God, I love you. Oh my God.
She knows everything.
I
know
know.
nothing.
It's the homeschooling. It's like you guys got just like 24 hours of like schooling. Like you just never, you learn so much.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
I mean, it kind of seems that way, you
Yeah,
know?
sometimes it looked like no schooling, and sometimes it looked like all of the schooling at once. But yeah, anyway, Kate Dillon.
Was and still is a big inspiration of mine because she, and those of you that don't know, she was a model and then, went through anorexia and bulimia to like stay a certain size and whatnot. And then just totally went the other way. Now she's a plus size model.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And so I just remember that, like, I have so many anorexic inspirations. Tracy Goldman from, is
Not
that her
that
last
one's cool.
name?
I don't know.
Show me that smile again.
Keep going,
Always
babe.
another minute on your crayon.
Sounds kind of familiar.
What is that song? The dance is ready to begin.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Michael Seaver. Michael, come on, help me
Glitching.
out.
I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh,
It has
Ellen,
to be
can you
you.
Google it?
I can. Give me the lyrics one more time.
Wait, hold on. It's not Family
You didn't
Ties.
hear it, it
Growing
was-
Pains.
No, no, no.
Growing Pains.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And she also
Slightly before my time, yeah.
Okay. She has her whole story and about like being a childhood star, but then like, you know,
Yeah.
she starts to blossom and they're like not the show blossom, but like she starts to become a woman and they're like, "No, we need you to be a kid for this part."
Need to be
So
a
you-
kid
Right.
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Your shines
Yep.
grow.
Yeah, it's like move up your timeline.
Everybody
for
hates your
sisters.
hips. Everybody
Yeah.
hates your boobs. Everybody's mad at you for
Totally.
growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
How dare you not
Yeah.
to be tiny forever.
That's so wild.
That's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying world we
Yes.
live in.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna talk. Now, go.
Yeah, I mean, so right. So that was what you did for your forensics thing. So you were connected to that from back in the day, like the idea of this sort of like eating disorders, body dysmorphia, like sort of difficulty accepting the way that your physical
Yeah,
body just
For
is.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah. I was anorexic and bulimic. For like what young age. Around when I was 14, I remember I got down to 87 pounds,
Wow.
which was really thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And even
right.
to this day, I can remember getting on the scale, looking at that number, and it never feeling like enough. Like to
Right.
this day, right?
wild.
And it was, but it's
Right.
weird. I remember people were like, "You look like a model."
Yeah, like praising you when
Yeah.
you're it's unhealthy.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Right.
was
It's nuts.
Which is a
bizarre.
conversation that you and I had a few weeks ago. We were just chatting and like, because I was talking about my experience, not with anorexia. I've never had that. First of all, I mean, I've had an eating disorder really for all of my adult life, like since puberty, but I never knew that it was called that. Like, just
Yeah.
like my inability to
Sure.
like actually, like just complete fucking lack of impulse control.
Yeah.
Like, I've got jokes about it in my set, but it was, you know, I didn't know that that was disordered, right?
Right.
But then
Because it wasn't like glamorous enough. So everyone's like, we don't
Yeah.
feel bad for you. This
Right.
isn't what models are doing. This
everybody
isn't
was
what-
like, "Don't you want to join cross country? Didn't you
Right.
want to?" Yeah, like everybody just like thought they had a solution to me just being a little fatty. But
Right.
turns out me being a little fatty wasn't really the issue.
Right,
It
turns
was
out
like
eating.
all these mental health issues.
Right.
And then so in my early 20s, my mental health took a turn where I stopped eating
Yeah.
completely for like a good period of time. And I ended up dropping like 60 pounds over the course of like 3.5 months.
Wow.
And so because I was not getting out of bed, I was not going to work, I was not going to school, I lost my job, I dropped out of school, I lost my housing. But at the same time, I had dropped 60 pounds. I had always been an overweight person. And so all of a sudden, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Carolyn, you look amazing.
Right.
Like, what have you been
what's your
doing?
secret?
You must be so happy. Everything must be
Yeah.
going so well."
Yeah.
It was just immediately, because I got like, not even thin, but like a little bit smaller. Everybody's assumption was that like everything was going amazing in my life. And it was so painful because I was just like still trying to lie to people about how bad shit was. So I was just sitting there like, yeah. And then like really going through the worst time of my life.
Right.
And it's just like so wild to me. Like, first of all, it's this shitty feeling where you realize like if you've been a fat person, you've always in the back of your head been like, people would like me more if I was thinner.
Right.
And then it was just
Then it
fucking
becomes true.
Yeah. It was just fucking true. People did like me more when I was thinner.
Yeah.
It was just wild. But also just people feeling like entitled to this like opinion and commentary on your body,
Yeah,
especially when you
right.
get small.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you change size at all, it's no one's fucking business. And I don't see
Oh my God.
why. Like, oh my God. I know the first thing my mom will say when I show sorry, Mom. When I show up at Christmas, I know I didn't lose weight because she won't say anything. But if I lost a pound, she'll be like, did you lose weight?
Yeah.
As soon as I fucking walk through the door.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God, why do you got to remind me because my mom, she was a model for a long time.
Wow.
And she was really thin, and they told her to lose like 20 pounds, and she just like couldn't because she's like the next step would be bulimia to really lose that extra weight, so she couldn't really do it anymore.
Right.
But then she started selling Herbalife, which became like vice president of that, like made tons of money, got us out of Detroit, and we're in the suburbs and living life. And then the president of it died. Everyone blamed Herbalife, thinking it was like the pills and stuff. And then like we lost everything. But like as a kid, a lot of times she had so much extra Herbalife shit. Like I was raised on like metabolism vitamins and shakes and shit like that. Which, like, at a young age, at, like, 10 years old, which I was always a chubby kid, too. Which I still think it's, like, I don't know. Like, I don't eat that bad, but I've, like, always been fat, you know?
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna say it. Fat.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, like, it has, like, fucked with me, like, for my entire life. And I feel like I've been dieting since I was, like, 10 years old. Which is just, like, a weird thing, which, I don't know. I guess that was just my rant about body dysmorphia.
No, I love it because we all have a story, whether it's not eating, overeating, it's the pills. I know. I remember I used to take ephedra pills that are now banned.
I'm sure.
Oh man, but those things were so good.
Right. Like they're just like amphetamines, right?
It was. Yeah. I mean, I just wouldn't eat, and then I'd pop a couple, and then you would be like,
like a little bit of meth at lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd take those now.
Yeah. And
That's where they up.
like because they were legal. Like it now, I think about it.
Right.
Like I'm like I can't believe I just admitted to everyone who listens.
But
that,
it wasn't like that.
No, I know. That's right. Where you're just like, no, this is. I bought it over the counter.
Exactly.
You know?
I got it at CVS. I'm not doing anything wild. Yeah. So crazy.
I remember I was working in the restaurant industry. I was 18, and I remember this girl. She knew I had some issues, and she was like, "Hey, my sister has some issues too," and her sister would vomit in Ziploc bags and hide it in her closet because she didn't want anyone to know that she was puking, so she would just do it in her own privacy and then like hide. Like, it's a fucked up. I used to be addicted to laxatives. I mean, I'd chug like 12 of them. It is so funny. It's weird,
but But everyone's probably like, "Oh, you're so healthy."
Right.
Like everyone will say that, and
thing.
they'd have no idea what you're going through
Right.
or how much like that is horrible for your like organs and your esophagus and all that.
Oh my gosh.
But see, when someone gets fat, it's like you're gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't know. Like my doctor says I'm fine.
Yeah.
Again, of course they always say
More likely to have a heart attack while I'm choking you to death and overexerting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just lucky I can't run a lot because I chase you down.
Or like how
my fatness is a blessing for you, motherfucker.
Just slapping people with my belly fat.
Wash up.
Yeah.
But it's and then in third world countries, right? They look at fat people like they're like it's a status symbol.
Yeah, like rich.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
even going back to the Italian thing, like I had a great grandma who would always, every time you show up, no matter who you are, you're too skinny. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? You're not eating. You're too skinny.
Yeah.
You're too skinny. And it was just like all the time,
Yeah.
But it was like, which is also body shaming.
Right, it is.
As it turns out, like she would do that, there are women in my family who are like much smaller or whatever, and it was always, you're too skinny, you're too fat, what you want to do?
Yeah.
Wild.
So what do you think okay, I feel that, and I don't know if it's the comedy community and like, I know I'm really grateful. I wanted to be able to put this into words without sounding corny, but like a lot of you girls in the comedy community like
are so fat.
No.
JK.
There, you took the words right out of my mouth. Anyone want some Oreos? No. Oh my God, that is not what I said.
I know. I'm sorry. You were gonna make a really good point. I could
It was
tell.
gonna be beautiful, and then
Loop right
we
back.
had to
Loop right back.
I know. All right.
Yeah.
Someone sing the song from Cats again. That, or my perception is that many of you girls are just really confident, especially when it comes to clothing, like this whole hot girl summer idea.
Man, yeah.
And because, like, one, I don't like I always felt like I always considered myself a never nude. You know what that?
Yeah.
Just never want to be naked.
Where you're like, yeah,
Shower in a bathing suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where I just like I didn't want to show any skin, but it all went back to the body image thing because in my
Right.
head I was like,
Right.
well, I'm fat, and like
Right.
all that, and then I'm loving this like the half shirts and all that shit, and that everyone is fucking wearing them. It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
about the skinny girl. It's not.
Right.
And like to me, I'm like, oh, I need that. I need to embrace that. And I have wholeheartedly. And I swear to God, it is 100% because of my surroundings, because of you
Right.
girls.
And that's
Yeah.
with a lot of
There you go.
people
Pat
in
yourself
general.
on the back.
But this was literally the first summer I've actually worn shorts since I was a child.
You're hot. And you're hot.
Because I was like, you know what? I am hot. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sick of wearing pants every day, which I am today just because I didn't feel like shaving my legs. But
Right.
which is another thing. Which is also like, God, I'm shaving more than I ever have.
Because of shorts. No, just don't do it, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I
I know I'm a different kind
I
of
like
guy.
being
It's fine.
smooth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been like nice. I've heard like I'm getting compliments. I'm actually getting catcalled again.
Yeah.
I'm being
Yeah.
harassed on the streets. It's great. No.
No, I got you though. I didn't wear shorts for years. I didn't wear shorts until I was in my 20s for sure.
Yeah.
Like probably between like 8 years
Wow.
old and 20s.
Right.
Did not one time. Yeah, not one time.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. I mean, it's interesting to hear you say that. So, I mean, we've talked about this sometimes here on the show before. Like, it's not... Like, I hear what you're talking about, but all of that is a fucking fight. Like, even, you know... So, not me. I don't wear the crop tops usually. But I
haven't
you know, I could.
I haven't made it there yet either.
Yeah. But, like, you know, I don't think of myself certainly as somebody who's like just oozing confidence from the pores, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, I do think that it's in some ways maybe a little generational too. I think like in some ways like our youngers even are like just helping everything, like just there's just been a really big shift or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some days I do feel like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm out here. This is my body. These are my hairy fucking legs. These are my hairy
Look
fucking
at it.
armpits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it.
Laugh at my jaws. Sometimes, but then like other times, this actually brings us to a different thing that we were going to talk about, which is like, so Kara, again, amazing photographer, Alchemo Photography. You did a photo shoot for us here at the podcast, which turned out beautiful. We've shared some of the photos with all of our listeners. There will be more to come. We're parsing them out because we're not going to be able to do it all the time. But yeah, like I looked at these photos, and you take just amazing, brilliant photos. But I looked at them, and I just thought, I didn't know I looked like that. I had this like horrible feeling, just very initially. At my first glance, I thought my hair looked like fucking, I don't know, like Leonardo DiCaprio from fucking 2002. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought, but I just thought I looked like a whole other guy. And then I look at these pictures and I'm like, your tits are everywhere. Your belly's hanging out. Your hair's flopping down. Like, you know, it was, and when I took the photo, I felt so confident. When I look at the photo, I don't see it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think like there is this like raising awareness, you know, like more of us being more comfortable, more of us asserting ourselves in space and not allowing other people's opinions of ourselves to control what we are going to wear on stage, off stage. But some of it is like this dysmorphia stuff, this body dysmorphia stuff. It starts when we're really little and it just fucking won't go.
Do you want to know what kind of helped me? Oh, so,
Yeah.
no, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think just this podcast, like, now that I'm on the video, like, I watched a video. It was like the little clip we posted where we were like riffing about bits.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a video of me. I'm laughing. I'm like having a good time with friends. And I'm like watching myself. But it's like I'm seeing yourself moving and like
Yeah.
smiling and like being a real person. it's so different than looking at a picture. Because like a
Right.
picture, you might catch a bad angle or just the light might hit you a funny way. But I was like, I love this person. Why am I so mean to this person all the time? This is a person I'd hang out with. So it's like, so what I'm saying is watch the podcast on YouTube. No.
What's I have the opposite problem.
I don't know.
Where I'm happier in just a photo.
This is just a theory.
Moving. I'm like, oh God, that's what I look like when I laugh.
And it's just so wild because we're all incredibly talented and funny and beautiful.
Right.
Like, I know that all, but it's all these different like sort of things that you pin on yourself when you're watching or whatever. Right. And I will say I revisited these photos. They're fucking amazing photos. Like I had to put them away in the moment, but then like the next day I looked at them and I was like, no, you're a badass. Like,
I swear to God.
Wild.
I'm obsessed with myself because
Connor had a different experience.
I'll look at this. I look at my own pictures too often. Because one day I'll be like, I'm a babe, and the next time I look at them, I'm like, ew, and it's the same picture, and I'm suddenly like gross, and then the next day I'm like, oh, I'm hot again, and it's the same exact picture. And I'm like, what? In my brain is like switching on and off.
Right.
Like it's almost like you're seeing a whole different person. So I get what you're saying when you like went back to look at them like, oh no, these are great. Like
it's
what
weird.
is it like being a photographer and working with people's like opinions of their own friggin' image?
So being a photographer, especially when you're one-on-one with people, you're like a therapist because I can nearly every one of my clients. They sit there and they're going to tell me what they don't like about themselves for the first 10 minutes. They're like, well, I didn't really brush my hair and, you know, I've got these teeth and then I got these eyes. And then I just like, are you going to be taking a picture from
I brought
the
this shirt, but I brought a different shirt.
And I'm
this shirt kind of makes it.
And because me, like, I don't know. I just really embrace people. And I'm like, I guess... The type of photographer I really aspire to be is more Annie Leibovitz, where it's like, I just want you in the moment and I just want you being yourself. And so when you start to like
unload your insecurities.
Yeah, then I'm like, this is not the shoot I wanted.
Take you out of the moment, right?
Yeah, so and I've never described it that way, but Annie Leibovitz is the perfect way to describe the type of work that I really aspire. And like I mentioned, not only do people unload on you before the shoot, and you're like, okay, I know you hired me, but that's not what I want.
Well, and it's not truly your job.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, you give the client what they want. And then the worst becomes like a good example, and I'm getting better about this, is that I had posted a photo on LinkedIn of a lady at work at a work event, and she was laughing, and I love that. Like I'm like, you're showing how great this event is, because photography and comedy, improv actually have a lot of correlation where you're like, I'm trying to react to what you're doing. Like, if you're having a good time, I want to figure out how to react to
and catch it before the laugh starts. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I posted it on LinkedIn, and she did not care for it and told me, and I was, you know, and then I internally, I thought it was a reflection of my photography. Then that's where the hardest part of is, and just like you and I are at a different level and closer, where I'm like, dude, I love that you shared that with me, like the perspective of the photography.
Right.
It does not hurt my feelings at all. Does it drive me crazy that you can't see yourself differently? Yeah. And that's the hardest part about photography. Right. You know.
Well, and it is so much like, you know, it was only, you know, when I was looking at these photos you took of us, it was like I was looking at a movie being like, Connie and Johanna are just some of the most beautiful, magical people I've ever met. How do they look so amazing in every picture, you know? And then so it is so much just how you see yourself. And I'm imagining like this woman, like, I mean, a picture of anybody like genuinely laughing. Yeah. I love. But a picture of me genuinely laughing where I can see both my chins, I'd probably be like, I hate it.
Right.
Like, it's so wild. We just do these, like, sort of awful things to ourselves.
Yeah. Right. So I guess we have skin.
Like, right.
The skinniest person, you're going to see skin on their heads back and laughing. Like,
right. It's just like skin down there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally just skin.
Okay, so let me ask, and I think I know maybe how Connor would answer this, because sometimes I think like, okay, how were you brought up? So a lot of times, like in mom groups, I hear that like, hey, make sure you tell your daughter like she's smart and she like, you should eat these carrots because they're good for your eyes, and like trying to stay away from like that food is bad and that's bad, that's gonna make you fat, and like, so I was just curious, like, what was your upbringing in that sense?
Very much a second one.
Well, and only because you mentioned the Christmas
Yeah.
thing.
Right. Which, Mom, if you are watching this, I love you. But, but she realized this later on in her years, though. It's like how damaging that kind of was to me.
Right.
And like we've had big talks about it and everything. But, she was, especially like in the 2000s, diet culture, or like, the 90s, forever. Diet culture and us being the skinniest of it. Like Paris Hilton was like the biggest star. And like everyone, like it was all about the jeans barely hanging on the little hip bones. And like if you're anything more than that, it was like, ew. But I don't know. So I don't like think she never wanted to like damage me or make me feel bad in any way.
Of course not.
She just wanted me to not get bullied. Well, too bad, Mom. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it myself if anything.
They were bullying me because I was gay. Is a gay fatty. Oh man.
We call this one gay fatty. No,
But no, I mean, like,
but yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
But yeah, she would be more like, don't eat that, don't eat this. But also, I'm getting McDonald's tonight because we're both busy. So it's like, one of the, just make sure to drink your shake for breakfast in the morning. Like, shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I came from like a healthy food family. I had 3 older sisters who didn't have any sort of weight issues whatsoever. So it was just like always this thing. And it was never, it was never very like overt. It was mostly just like, we want you to be healthy. Just be, it was all about like your healthiness or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll say, and again, I love you too, Mom. And I know that it was not sort of like from any bad place, but I think I was like 11 or something, and my mom started having me go to Weight Watchers with her. So then I was sitting in a room full of like middle-aged white women.
How old were you?
Like 11.
No.
Yeah, like 11. I think like 11 or maybe 12. Yeah. And it was like, I was like in the program. I was like doing weigh-ins and stuff, which was not good for me. And not like, I mean, there's just the culture of Weight Watchers in general.
Oh, God.
I mean, and again, like just more power to anybody trying to get like some control over like their body and their fitness. We clearly are talking about it. We know it's a struggle. No shame to anybody doing a Weight Watchers program, but it was just no place for somebody of my age.
Right.
And like, I don't think that it was, I don't think there was any sort of like, I didn't feel like there was any sort of like premium put on like making sure you did, but I knew that everybody around me was noticing how fat I was, and it was just like this total part of like a horrible mental health shame complex that I still deal with,
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, I remember that feeling from so young. I think as like most of us do.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's weird. Like, everyone's like, I'm too tall, I'm too this, I'm too, like...
I mean, even boys,
we'll all find
not
something.
just girls.
Yeah,
It's like,
boys, yeah. I'm not muscly enough. My dick is da-da-da.
Yeah.
I'm uncircumcised. I am circumcised.
Yeah, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I have too many muscles, I don't have enough muscles.
I have so many muscles.
Yeah.
All these muscles.
Yeah. It's just really rough, and like realizing how much like we do it to ourselves the most.
Yeah.
It's like just the wildest thing.
Yeah.
It's just like this like how grown up do I have to be where I unlock the self-awareness?
Right.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like you can recognize it, and it's still really tough. I will say though, these photos you took of us, I'm now like once I like gave myself a minute with them, they're absolutely fucking beautiful. Like
Thank you.
just
Thank you.
the talent. In this
I love
one.
it.
And
I
I'm
love the
glad we
colors
could
and the
talk
black and
about
white.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
well, and I'm glad that you gave me the space to talk about that, because I felt really embarrassed. Like I was like, who does that? Like, what am I doing? Why am I reacting negatively to like a wonderful photographer taking nice pictures of me?
Right.
But it felt nice to know that there was like some space for that. Like, it's just not always easy having a body.
Right, and it's also it is because like my photo shoot with you was the first one that we did was the first one I've ever had, and it was weird like seeing myself in a new light and angle that I've never seen. Yeah,
tiny bit. Yeah,
and like and I did go back and I know it was nothing to do with your photography. It was just my own image of myself. Like that's what I look like, but also it's not bad. I like this one, and then that's what I was doing. Like one day I'd like it, next day I wouldn't like it. One day I'd like it. Like it's just wild.
I mean, and I guess that's like the process of loving yourself, right? Like one day I nailed it, and the next day I didn't do so good at loving myself. Like, just wildness. Yeah. I was gonna say, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
I have something to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think everyone here knows that I'm a stepmom and I'm in porn. And
they call that a
porn.
smell.
And,
Is that a thing? A smell? Stepmom
smell. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stepmom, I'd like to fuck.
Yeah.
Are you?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Then you like?
Huh?
Okay.
You specifically? Is that the sound you make?
What is happening? They're 18 and 19, and I just remember like the first time, and maybe they were only like 16, I don't know, but that they wanted to wear like the half tops and like, you know, my husband like raged. He's like, "What are you wearing?" And I had to pull him aside, and I'm like, I don't want clothing to be an issue.
If you teach them to hate their
you know?
bodies.
Yeah. And I'm like, how do you? He's like, well, I don't think they should be leaving the house like that. And I'm like, everyone is wearing this.
Yeah,
and
literally.
if we don't let them leave the house like this, they're going to put it on once they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, and by all means, it's like, it was very much it was a fathering moment. It was like a holy shit, my 5-year-old girls are wearing this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It was very much that, but I had to make sure he saw it from a different light. Because a lot of our household, my husband is like, you know, he wakes up and eats kale every day. He's got every vitamin he can ever. He's
Healthy guy.
he's
Yeah.
that guy structured. I'm like, but that can be overwhelming to people.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it's cool by all means. Like I love it. I embrace it a lot with him. But to two kids or trying to, you know, explore themselves and growing boobies, I'm like,
right.
you just gotta bring it down enough.
Right.
Yeah,
Let them live their life. Let them taste pizza.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so glad he has you.
Right.
Yeah.
That is like a wonderful. I wish
Yeah.
that person was around.
For real co-parenting.
Right.
Their own mom
Yeah.
has said that, where she
Right.
she says, you know, Kara goes up to bat for the kids,
Yeah.
which it's easier for me to go up to bat
For
them
sure.
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm like,
sure. Yeah.
I'm also just like here, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know,
It's a little bit of a different position that you
It
get to
is.
be in, where you get to like represent them a little bit
Yeah.
more than maybe they're for sure.
yeah.
Which that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's also cool, this co-parenting and for everyone to have each other's backs like that. Like, because that's what my parents said. They're still like best friends, but they're divorced. And like, we all come together on Christmas. It's like my stepmom's there and
Hell yeah.
my mom will bring whoever she's dating.
Right.
It sounded worse than what it is.
That's kind of cool though, like when it's a team. Like I've nannied for families and like been friends with families. Like there's kind of this amazing thing where there's like a whole team of people that are all like team these kids. Like I mean, I feel that with being like an aunt to my little nieces and nephews. Like it just feels cool when it's like we got a panel. Like baby, you fucking covered. Like I love that.
No,
I remember
sure.
what I was going to say. I wanted to do a special shout out to non-binary kids because there is an extra layer of shit with body dysmorphia when you're dealing with gender dysmorphia, and I go through that, and a lot of us go through that, and I just like shout out, super love, like we all are gonna love the photos of you laughing, even if you don't. We just want to see you laughing and happy.
See you happy.
And we love you, and thank you for tuning in to each other's mothers. Does anybody have any little
can I tell you
bits and
someone I
pieces?
love who's transgender?
Yeah.
I love hearing about everyone you love.
I don't what's her Michelle Hart.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, shout out Michelle Hart.
Anyway,
Shout
she's
out
so.
Michelle Hart.
I think she's so funny.
Another
And
local
beautiful
comic, total
and-
sweetheart, amazing comic,
That's all.
and big supporter of local podcasts and local shows.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, Michelle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she has my whole heart. And her parents
Hey.
came out to Nick Pizzuti's show. Were you guys there?
No.
no, I
like
couldn't.
cold fucking backyard show. They fucking sat 5.5 hours in
Hell
their,
yeah.
had their cooler
Wow.
of beer and watched us shitty
Oh my
comics.
god, I love that for
It
her.
was-
I love that
I
for
know.
all
I
of
just
us.
I
I think
love
her
it.
parents
love
have come to the Indie before.
Yeah,
I believe
I
it.
feel like
yeah.
I've seen them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
they're very
There's
good
honestly, there's like if you want a list of amazing trans, non-binary, LGBTQ comics in Michigan, there were a lot, and post-pandemic, there's like 5 times as
I
many.
know.
We're exploding out here.
That's my most.
Feels amazing.
Yeah,
Our
it's
hearts are
exciting.
all warm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that sort of brings us to time. Is there
pluggies?
anything? Yeah. Who wants to plug
can
your
start.
stuff?
so fun. Well, oh wait, are you
Kara,
not-
where can we
are
find
you?
you?
Not on the show this weekend? Okay, Ellen and I are. We're on a show this weekend, July 3rd.
Oh yeah, I'm on
Connor,
that one too.
too.
Okay, I thought
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, all right, all
like,
three
oh,
of
what
us are
show?
plugging
Yeah.
our
LOL
show.
IRL.
Ipsy
Yep.
Or
area.
IRL LOL.
Ann Arbor Ipsy
At
friends come
Grove
out.
Studio with all us
Oh,
ladies.
yeah.
I'm going out to Denver and doing some shows there.
Exciting.
And then going to New York and doing some shows there.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
God, I want to get
Figuring
back
it
to New
out.
York.
Just figuring it out.
Hell yeah.
So as
Love
much
it.
as I talked about how much I love this community, I'm like,
I'm leaving. Yeah.
No, you got to do that.
I'm-
And where can people find you on the social medias?
Coraci, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then I have www.crotchi.com. I am the proud owner of that URL.
Hey.
You got merch.
Nice.
We
And I got merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you by the way.
Of course.
Thank
Hell yeah. Thank you for
Anytime.
coming and hanging out
This
with
is fun.
us.
Did you guys hear me? I thanked you.
We thank you. You have been an amazing friend. and
You
supporter of the
have.
show, and we love
Likewise.
We love you so
Likewise.
much. I just want to say every Tuesday at Trixie's Bar, there's an open mic and you can come and it's fun.
you. Yeah, hell yeah. Stinky open mic at Trixie's.
Stinky open mic.
Every
Ham
Tuesday
cram it.
at 7:30.
7:30.
It's a really good time.
No co-host.
Nope, just me, baby.
Fucking
I cut it off at
Solo
45.
dolo.
I'm like, I'm done with you bitches.
yeah.
Ouch.
I didn't get here soon
Shut
enough.
Good idea.
Yeah. And how do people find you on social media?
Connor Median. CONNORMEADIAN.
You see what she did there?
Yeah.
A good one.
It's like comedian, but Connor Median. You get it? Did you get it?
Oh, I didn't. Okay. What's a like I was like the median and the highway. Oh my gosh.
Connor
so
Median.
stupid. Okay, I get it. It's really clever. I love it.
I think it's cheesy, but
No, it's
love
great.
I can't change it now.
You can
No.
find me on Instagram at Chuff Schmitz. And performing throughout the area. You can find Johanna Medranda online at
Oh,
She
no, it's
changed
just Johanna Medranda now.
Johanna
It's
Medranda on
Medranda.
Instagram and Facebook. And we are on Instagram and Facebook.
At each
under
other's mothers pod.
Each other's mothers. And we will talk to you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you for listening. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Tequila, cocaine.